Hey guys, this is Angelo, and today I'm going to be talking about the second part of my 3-part series that I started last week, Eat, Sleep, Move. So today I'm going to be focusing on the importance of sleep. So whether you want to lose weight, whether you want to have better health, whether you want to live longer, whether you want to have more energy and kick more ass, or whether you want to build muscle, sleep is going to be a very, very important factor in that. And when I'm working with clients, the second thing that we go over after the diet part, after the dietary part, is always sleep. I always ask them, hey, how much are you actually sleeping per night? How is your sleep? That is really, really important. And quite often you might find out that somebody is just sleeping 6 hours per night or 5 to 6 hours per night and they're having trouble sleeping. And when they focus more on sleep and then they get the consistent 7 to 8 hours of sleep, that they start losing a lot of weight and they start seeing the results that they were looking for. So the crazy thing is that according to the National Sleep Foundation, just 50 years ago, we were getting on average 8 to 8.9 hours of sleep per night. And when you compare it to more recent data, now we're getting on average more like 6.9 to 7 hours per night. And that is a pretty substantial difference. That's pretty much 1 to 2 hours less sleep per night, which is 7 to 14 hours per week. Those are basically 2 full nights of sleeping that you are sleeping less every single week. And that's insane. A lot of people nowadays are just sleeping 5 to 6 hours on average per night. And you might feel fine, you might just feel a tiny bit tired, you might try to drink some more coffee to keep you awake. And you don't really notice that your performance goes way down. They did a study about this, and where they were looking at people who were sleeping a bit less than 6 hours for a period of 2 weeks. And after those 2 weeks, their performance and their exercise performance, their mental performance was at the same level as if they hadn't slept at all for a period of 48 hours. And that's pretty insane when you think about it. And the thing is, we don't really notice that stuff because you feel fine, you don't see these small incremental changes. And every day where you don't rest enough, for example, if you didn't sleep enough yesterday, you had just 5 hours of sleep yesterday, and if today you're just sleeping 5 or 6 hours again, the situation gets worse and worse. And you don't really notice this change that's building up. And you just maybe drift off for a second and you're not really aware of that. And so just keep that in mind from now on. So studies have also shown that getting enough sleep is really important to lose weight and to also prevent future weight gain. Because people who on a regular basis don't get enough sleep are 55% more likely to become obese. And part of the reason why constant sleep deprivation makes you gain weight is because it increases the hormone ghrelin, which is the hunger hormone basically, and it decreases your hormone leptin, which is the hormone that keeps you full and satisfied. And generally speaking, those that get adequate amounts of sleep consume a smaller amount of calories than those who don't sleep enough on a regular basis. Another kind of theory why you might eat more when you sleep less is because your body is trying to compensate the fact that you didn't sleep enough by eating more food and by increasing your ghrelin levels and making you more hungry. Problem is that it's really hard to regulate that. So since your hormones are going to be a little bit messed up, you're going to eat more than you actually need to kind of make up for that extra need of energy from not sleeping enough. And so people overeat in general and they snack more throughout the day and they gain weight as a result. So sleep is a really important factor if you want to be as healthy as possible, if you want to be as productive as possible, if you want to have energy, and also if you want to exercise to your full potential. Maybe you changed your diet recently, maybe you started a ketogenic diet or a paleo diet or whatever other diet, and you've seen some great results as far as weight loss is concerned, and you're getting closer to your goal. And now you're at a point where kind of the weight loss is stalling a little bit, And it's totally normal, first of all, because weight loss always goes like this, and then you might stall a tiny bit, you might hit a small plateau, and then you continues down. If the general trend is downwards, you really have nothing to worry about. That's completely normal. That's how we work. But you might realize that if you're just more mindful of your sleep as well, apart from your diet, that you might be surprised by the results. So I've seen several people who just after implementing a couple more hours of sleep, so let's say they were sleeping 5 to 6 hours per night on a regular basis, and they weren't really thinking that it would impact anything, and then I recommended them to sleep more, and then they started sleeping 7 to 8 hours every single night for a period of 2 weeks, and all of a sudden they were losing weight again, and it was something so simple that can have such a big impact. So the reason why I don't recommend people work out more than 3 times a week is usually because I just see it every single day that people don't get enough sleep. And when you aren't able to rest enough and to get enough rest to get those 7, 8, maximum 9 hours of sleep per night, if you're working out a lot, you're gonna need up to 9 hours. Then you're just not gonna give your body the ability to recover from the muscle damage, from all those workouts, from the stress that you're putting on your body. And that's why I typically don't recommend people work out more than 3 times a week, especially if you have a job, if your job is not bodybuilding. And so if you are somebody who really loves training and who really loves working out, then just be mindful about the sleeping part of it. That's going to make a really big difference, because that's a time where you give your body time to recover, to rebuild its muscle tissues. All right. It's not just the food you eat, but also during the night. That's going to have a big impact also as far as the excretion of certain hormones is concerned that are also going to help you build muscle and lose weight. My recommendation is to get 7 to maximum 9 hours of quality sleep per night. And maybe you might be somebody who does amazing in 6 hours per night, right? And that's totally fine. You can find that out for yourself. But if you're feeling tired and if you have to drink coffee to wake up, then chances are that's not the right amount of sleep for you. What is high quality sleep? High quality sleep is just sleep where you're not waking up constantly, where you can sleep through pretty much the whole night, or maybe you wake up once and then you fall right back to sleep. So let's say you're having trouble with sleep and you're waking up a lot during the night and you aren't able to sleep for long periods of time, and even after lying in bed for 8 hours you didn't really sleep much and you still feel really exhausted. In that case, here are a couple of recommendations to improve your sleep. Try to go to bed at approximately the same time every evening, maybe plus minus 30 minutes, to kind of get your body into that rhythm, and your body's gonna learn, okay, now it's sleep time, gonna get a little more tired, and it's gonna help your hormones regulate a little bit. Even better would be to try to synchronize your body a little bit more to circadian rhythm, to when the sun goes down, to when the sun goes up. So basically meaning that you might go to sleep around 10-ish in the evening, and then you get up at, let's say, 6 in the morning, and making that your sleep time. But so that works wonders for me personally, and I sleep much better than if I would go to sleep after midnight and get up later. But other people's, I'm not judging you if you're a night owl and you're the most productive during the night. That's totally fine. Just try to make it work for you. Another thing is try to make your room as dark as possible, which means use blackout curtains. And if you cannot use blackout curtains, you can still get enough light in, because your room should be as dark, so dark that you cannot see your hand in front of your face. If you cannot get a blackout curtains, or your room isn't dark enough, try a sleeping mask like this. That works really well as well. And also when you're traveling or you're flying somewhere, you can use that on a plane. It's always really useful. It's like $5 to $10 or something. Another really cheap and easy thing you can implement is just getting some earplugs and using those at night. Maybe you're somebody who just wakes up very easily when you hear some sound, and you might not realize it because you're awake already and maybe the sound stopped. So just try out some earplugs and see if that helps you. You might be surprised that you're able to sleep through the night now. Now, this part is really important. I know that it's really hard living in 2016 where everything is based around electronics and tablets and smartphones and TV, but try to turn off your electronic devices 30 minutes to 1 hour before sleep and try to not use them anymore. And if you have to use them, then use some blue light filter. On Android it's called Twilight. It's an application, it's not the Twilight Saga. And on iPhone I'm not sure if they have that, but on Macs and computers you have another blue light screen filter that you can install, and it's called F-Lux. And it's gonna filter a lot of the blue light that those screens are emitting, and it's gonna be much more relaxing for your eyes. And if you want to be super nerdy and give your eyes a little bit more relaxation, because basically the blue light, what it does is it's like caffeine for your eyes. So if you're lying in bed and just texting something right before you sleep, maybe you fall asleep, but the sleep quality is going to go down drastically, all right? But most people have a hard time falling asleep right after that. If you want to be super nerdy, then I recommend 1 hour before sleep to try some orange glasses like these. I know they look ridiculous, but they're really relaxing in your eyes. And so even the LED light bulbs do emit some light that's a little bit aggressive, that's a little bit stressful, and it simulates kind of sunlight, so your body doesn't really realize, oh, it's time to go to sleep soon. Another thing that can be really helpful is going out into the sun at least once a day and just spending a couple minutes in the sunlight. And a lot of people reported that they sleep much better after doing that. So try it out. Oh, and one more thing that I almost forgot. A lot of people who keep getting up several times during the night and cannot sleep throughout the night, just try to limit your caffeine intake. Everybody loves coffee. I also love coffee, but just try to have your last coffee at, let's say, 2 p.m. in the afternoon and not after that, all right? And try to drink maximum 2 to 3 coffees per day. And you might be surprised how much your sleep quality improves, simply because coffee takes a long time to completely get out of your system. So caffeine takes a long time to go out of your system. Or maybe switch it up and, let's say, in the afternoon, lunchtime, early afternoon, you drink a green tea instead of coffee, which has some L-theanine, which is gonna reduce the, let's say, the jittery and the effects on your cortisol levels that the caffeine from the coffee might have. Alright guys, that concludes the second video of the 3-part series Eat, Sleep, Move. And next week I'm going to be talking about the importance of moving. So just answer this question in the comments. How long do you sleep on average every night? Alright, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.